All right, welcome back to the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. We're talking about today was the day, or yesterday maybe, where a bunch of the big mock drafters, Dane Brugler, Todd McShay, Mel Kiper.
They all said it was the last one. I thought that they put one out like the morning of the draft, didn't they?
Oh, they definitely put out another one.
Yeah.
I know McShay said he's doing another one next week.
Oh, is he?
I'm sure
Okay.
Kiper's doing it.
Maybe it was Dane that said this is
Maybe
his
it's his
last
last one. I don't know.
I thought they all said
Does
that.
Dane only? I think Dane only does one. I think he does his one and only because the Beast is most of what he does. He's more of a scout than the mock draft guy.
Yeah, and I guess they don't want to get. I don't know. I think guys like McShay and Brugler are probably getting information up until the very end.
Yeah.
So maybe they want to change, but we'll see. But the question Earl was asking is, are the Cowboys the right team to trade with? Now, obviously, you got to have two to tango. They may be the only team that wants to trade up. Who knows? But if there are options, I know Jason in particular, you'd rather them trade later into the first round if they're going to trade down, because then you think maybe they can get a first-round pick next year.
Whatever. Like, what was the question, Earl? What's the ideal?
Yeah, trading spot.
The ideal for me, we talked about it with Ryan Wilson in the first hour. The ideal for me is whatever it takes to get a 27 first. I don't love this draft. And
Now, by the way, we had this conversation a million times last year.
I know.
And it was all about getting two first-rounders, and now there's no quarterback
And
to
guess
take.
what? Now they have two first-rounders. So
Right,
they're going
but
to
still
add
no
talent.
quarterback to
Still no
take.
quarterback,
Yeah.
but they're still adding two pretty good pieces.
Yeah.
Right? Two first-round
We
pieces.
hope, yes.
So, I would say however low you got to go to get a 27 first. That's my ideal.
Yeah.
Is it going to happen? Probably not. But if you're asking me what's ideal, that's it.
Yeah, I just find it hard to believe that somebody's going to give up a first-round pick next year to get a defensive player, no matter how good they are.
I don't necessarily. That's why I said.
Maybe Jeremiah Love.
Yeah.
That's why I said
that's a shocker.
It may not be realistic,
Yeah.
and you're still going to have two first rounders. You're still going to have two first rounders this year. You have two
Right.
first rounders next year.
Yep.
So
I actually think the Cowboy situation makes sense. Here's why.
you just got done yelling about it. You didn't like it.
No, I'm saying if they're going to make a trade,
Yeah.
I'd rather them trade with the Cowboys than lower, and here's why.
Okay.
Two reasons. Number one, at 12, you can still probably get one of the whatever group of players they have at being 6. There's probably going to be one of them that makes it to 12.
Probably.
Number two, it guarantees that the Cowboys will take one of the better defensive players off the board in front of the Bengals, a division rival.
And
That's a bonus for the Browns.
and also,
Yeah.
if the reports are true,
Yeah.
once again, who knows? Washington at 7 still trying to trade out. So if the Browns are the first team to trade out, they have more leverage to get more in return,
Yeah.
which is why I think Dallas would want to do it, because not only would Dallas jump up, but if Dallas says, all right, let's say there's Downs and Styles and maybe they're both there at 10, we'll get the other one. There's no guarantee that they're both making it to Cincinnati because
Right.
Washington at 7 can trade out.
Right.
So you have a little more leverage that no one else is going to jump you
Yeah.
if you make a deal with Dallas getting up to
I would
12.
say I'd be surprised in general if anybody trades to the top 10 this year because there's no quarterback or outside of the running back, no superstar elite playmaker. But we've seen in recent years more and more teams making aggressive trades for other positions that we didn't really see in the past.
It's because if you think you're close enough to win and that's one missing piece away, then as Les Snead said, F them picks.
Right, that's true.
Like if you have a chance and it starts with do you have the quarterback
Yeah.
and do you have the other pieces? And the Rams, Ryan Wilson said earlier, the Rams tried trading up for Brock Bowers. Imagine Brock Bowers in that Rams offense. Like if you identify the perfect player for your system, go up and do whatever you can to get him because you'd rather have that guy that you believe in so much. And I'll use Brock Bowers. The Rams believe that Brock Bowers could have been the missing piece to fully solidify that offense.
Yeah, I mean, they don't have a good tight end. They're good.
It's by committee, but they don't have like that guy. Can you imagine Bowers alongside Puka? So if you see the vision with a certain player, then who cares about your next year's first-round pick because that guy's going to be good enough to supplement everything else you have.
The teams that do it when they're stupid is teams that don't have a quarterback.
Yes.
Like, was it Atlanta? Was it
Atlanta who traded up for James Pierce last year?
Giving up a first-round pick in a trade when you don't have a quarterback, that's stupid.
Now, I believe they thought they had a quarterback in Michael Penix.
I don't buy that they thought for sure they had a quarterback.
They used the 8th, or was it 10th overall pick?
Yeah, I know, but
If you don't believe in him that early, then you've already made enough mistakes that the whole regime's going to get fired. And guess what happened?
How smart are
They
the
did.
Falcons? They hired Kevin Stefanski.
What?
Poor Jason.
It's a good joke.
Thank
no,
you.
no.
I
I was
appreciate
pointing. I
that.
want to see reaction.
What do you think, Mike? Is this the right spot, or would you be with Jason rather than trade further down the line?
I mean, I think in reality, I'd want to get as much for 2027 as possible. It just, I don't know what the Browns are thinking. If they, like we said in the last segment, if they love a guy, don't trade back. This is what I just said. If you're trading up for, if you like that guy, don't trade back. If you think Carnell Tate or Fano or David Bailey, Sonny Styles, Caleb Downs, Jeremiah Love, you name it. If it's Jordan Tyson, if you love that guy, take him at 6, stand on it, and say, we think this is the best player. This is who we want. We're not going to risk a chance to miss out on him.
Yeah.
This is the guy that's going to be part of our dome opening roster and one of the faces that we're going to plaster on the posters outside, and we're going to use him to help build all this momentum and create a winning team, then I don't answer the phone on a trade back situation. But if you don't love a guy and you think players 6 through 15 are in the same range and you're just as fine getting the 4th guy in that tier as you are getting the 1st guy in that tier for you, then trading back to 12 makes a lot of sense. Even going a little further makes a little bit of sense as long as you're okay getting a guy in that same tier. I don't know what the Browns tiers look like. If they have 1 guy in tier 1, 2 guys in tiers, I don't know. If they have 4 guys in tier 2, we don't have access to that information.
Yeah.
But whatever Andrew Berry has on that tier where they're picking 6 through whatever that ends at, I don't want to go lower than that. This team is devoid of elite blue chip talent.
Yeah.
They need to get someone they can help build around at any position, offense or defense, with that first pick this year.
The Browns' blue chip talent. Let's talk about this for a minute. You've got Myles Garrett. You've got Denzel Ward.
I think that's it.
You and I agree that Schlesinger has to do it for another year. Are you calling Schlesinger blue chip?
No, you can't call. No, not after.
Not after 1 year, right?
Yeah.
So is there any other blue chip players?
2. That's it.
Certainly none on the offensive side.
Earl, Anthony, Steve, you guys got a blue chip player you want to nominate?
I do not.
Earl does not. Anthony?
Not off the top of my head, no.
Okay. So we're all in agreement then. The Browns have 2 blue chip players. We think Schlesinger could move into that group.
And by the way, those 2 blue chip players, Miles is in his, going into his 9th year?
Yeah.
Is that right? Is
Yes.
it 9?
27 draft, yeah.
And Denzel is how many years in?
Yeah.
He was the 18 draft,
8.
right?
So-
Neither one was acquired by this GM.
Correct.
So this GM to this point has been here. This will be his, 7th draft?
2020,
Yeah, 7th
21,
draft.
22, 23, 24,
Yeah.
25, 26.
And he
7th
has
draft.
acquired 0 blue chip players at this point.
Yeah.
Well, drafted 0 blue chip players.
Well, who has he acquired that's a blue chip player?
Well, I was just saying in this conversation we're talking about drafting.
Right, but even acquiring, he hasn't.
Did he trade for Teller?
He did not.
Then no.
That was before. Was that before Barry?
Yes.
That was right the year before he took over.
Then yeah.
Antonio, he hadn't drafted. Who else was blue chip in recent years? That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, a guy making his 7th draft, he's acquired no blue chip players. Now, I will say that we think there's a couple guys from last year's draft that have.
Mason Graham could be a blue chipper. Harold Fanning could be
Yeah.
a blue chipper. Judkins could be a blue chipper.
Yeah.
Schlesinger on track to be a blue
Yeah.
chipper. Like
I mean, the only one that was a blue chipper as a rookie blue chipper was Schlesinger to me. Some of the others were close, but not quite that level. But they could get there. There's possibilities. You have to have those kind of players to win, especially if you don't have one at quarterback. If you have one at quarterback, you can get by with less blue chip guys in other spots. But the only if you're going to win with a quarterback, say below the blue chip level, not too far below, but right under the blue chip level, then you got to have a lot of blue chippers, right? The Seahawks have a lot of blue chippers.
Oh, yeah.
So their quarterback may not have been a blue chipper. He might have been the second level.
He played like blue
And
chip
he
this
played
year.
like it in the playoffs.
Yep.
By the way, so did Nick Foles the year the Eagles won in the playoffs, played like a blue chipper.
Yeah.
And so did Joe Flacco the year the Ravens won
Yeah.
the Super Bowl. He played like a blue chipper at that time. But those teams had a lot of blue chip players. If you're not going to have a blue chip quarterback, how many times can I say blue chip? You have to have a lot of players, and the Browns do not.
No.
Let's think about the division for a second. I know it's quick, and we may miss some guys on the offensive line, whatever. But how many blue chip players? Let's try to think of how many blue chip players the Steelers have real quick. I think we got a couple of minutes, so let's do this. Is Cam Hayward still a blue chip player? I think he is.
I think he is, yeah. T.J. Watt.
T.J. Watt is a blue chip player. Are those their only two on defense? You think of anybody else?
Highsmith. I don't think he's blue chip.
I don't think
Yeah,
he's blue
good,
chip,
but not blue
no.
chip. Probably those two.
On offense, they may only have two blue chip players.
Do you consider DK a blue chip?
No,
I don't either.
not for me.
So, yes.
He's just below that.
2.
Now, I don't know how many even tier 2 players the Browns have. He's a tier 2 player. Highsmith's probably a tier 2 player.
I mean, I think the Browns have tier 2 players. All these rookies that we're talking
Right,
about.
but to me, again,
Delpit, Campbell.
you got to see. Yes. I think DK Metcalf is a higher caliber of player than Campbell and Delpit. I think there's a space in between. But anyway, the Ravens, Lamar, Derrick Henry, still a blue chip player.
I mean, Ronnie Staley.
Ronnie Staley's a
tackle.
blue chip player.
Do you consider Zay Flowers blue chipper?
No.
Do you consider Mark Andrews? No, right?
Not anymore. No.
On the defense, Kyle Hamilton for sure.
That's 4.
I
think that's it.
Quickly running through. Probably just those 4.
Yeah.
And then Burrow, Chase.
And Chase. That's it.
So that's not much different than the rest of the
No,
division, if we're being
that's
honest.
true.
When you do that,
Now, 2 of those 3 teams, it's the quarterback.
which helps.
Right. But yeah. No, that's true. All right. Maybe it's not as bad as I think.
We learned something today. And I think we totally missed the question on this this topic, though. I think we were supposed to talk about
The question was, go ahead. Did we miss the question, Earl? We got 2 minutes. Did we miss something in this question?
Oh, I thought we were going to look at the mock drafts that did the trades.
We already did that.
No, but see what players they had the Browns taken with those trades.
Oh, do we have those graphics? And we could take a look at that
We
real
did.
quick.
I know we do because I made them.
Okay, so let's see those graphics. So who did they have the Browns taking after they make
After these trades? Yeah.
Lineman,
Okay,
right?
there we go. So there's the pick.
No, that's the trade. Go to the
Okay.
couple graphics down. It's the Brugler mock. There we go.
Okay, so in this one they have the Browns taking Spencer Fano. Is it Fano? Fano.
You were right the
Fano,
first
right. I
time.
was right the first time. Casey Concepcion at 20. Emmanuel McNeil Warren. He's a defensive player, isn't he?
Safety from Toledo.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So that's
Who's the corner? No, he's a corner. The guy coming off an injury, but everybody loves him.
Jermon McCoy.
Yeah, he didn't play last year,
Tennessee,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, on paper that doesn't seem bad.
Got a tackle, receiver, and a safety. I like that.
Okay.
I don't love Concepcion as a player, but I would be pretty happy if that was the
All
3
right.
first-round pick
Jason,
call.
giving a thumbs up on that or no?
Yeah, I don't love Concepcion, but I like the concept of where he's going with it.
I like the Omar Concepcion. No, Dave Concepcion.
Dave Concepcion.
And then his son was named Onyx. All right, what's the next one, guys? Here we go. The McShay, Caden Proctor, and Concepcion.
Same concept.
I like that
Different
less
names.
because I like Fano more than Proctor, and I don't
Yeah.
love Concepcion.
Yeah, I
right.
agree. I like Dane's better.
Okay, and next, Proctor, Boston, and then Jermod McCoy. I don't know him.
Here's a cornerback I just told you about 1 second ago. literally the guy I told you about
Face plant.
17 seconds ago.
Denzel Boston, different wide receiver in this case. McCoy is the guy I referenced, didn't remember his name. Mike said his name, and then I still forgot who he was. He is a corner who had a great year 2 years ago,
Yes.
missed the entire season.
If they pull this off,
Yeah.
this is the high potential and catastrophic floor draft.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
Proctor might be the best left tackle in the draft.
Right, but also could be an overweight guy.
completely
bust.
Be out of the league in 3 years.
Denzel Boston is 6'4", jump ball receiver.
Yeah.
Could be awesome.
Yeah.
Didn't test.
He has bust potential.
And then Jermon McCoy didn't play all last year. Just
Right.
ran a blazing 40 at his pro day.
Yeah.
He's the guy that some people think is the best cornerback in the entire draft.
Right.
Hasn't seen him. There's been some questions about his competitiveness. That is the ultimate. We are taking a swing for the fences. We might add 3 blue chippers. And we may have nothing to show for
Or it
this
could
draft
be a
in 2 years.
total disaster like
Exactly.
many other Browns drafts.
Exactly.
All right, when we come back, the Cavs getting ready to go against the Raptors. Who's under the most pressure? We've talked about the players, but it might just be the coach. Is he on the hot seat heading into this postseason? We'll get to it next on the Ultimate Cleveland Sports.